Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I thought I would do a quick demonstration because I just got these Chantecaille. These are the Cheek Gelées, the Hydrating Gel Cream Blushes in the mail. These are a reformulation, and these are reformulated to be a cleaner formula. So they are free of microplastics. They are fragrance free. They are all the good things free that we want. Like, they don't have talc in them. So Chantecaille has recently done a little bit of, I don't want to say a rebrand, but they are re-promoting a lot of products with cleaner ingredients. And I am someone who is a really big fan of that, just because in my personal life, I really am health conscious. Like, I eat very clean. I work out a lot. That is something that is just really important to me, to have my health just be of top importance. So I really think that products that we apply onto our skin is included in that, and I am just someone that is more focused on that, especially as I am getting older. I want my ingredients to be more clean, not only in food that I eat, but also in the makeup that I apply on my skin, because it is getting absorbed into our skin as much as we don't want to think about it. So I'm really excited about this relaunch because, like I said, it is fragrance free, it is microplastic free, it is talc free. So I have two products in this launch, and I actually am wearing the new Chantecaille Future Skin foundation, the new formulation. However, the shade I got was the wrong shade, so I'm exchanging it for the vanilla shade, which should be my right shade. But I just want to say that the formula of this foundation, like, let's see, I've applied this. I went to the gym this morning, so I applied it this morning, went to the gym. It's been a few hours, like at least, what time is it? So it's been 5 hours since I applied that foundation, and I think it still looks really, really beautiful on the skin. It definitely still looks hydrating. It still looks fresh on the skin. I see a little bit of glow peeking through, but it's not shiny or anything like that. I haven't touched up at all. You can still see little freckles peeking through, but it just looks like real skin. And it looks nice and blurred, which is one of my favorite things. I don't think it looks any different from the previous formulation of the Future Skin foundation, if I'm being honest. But this is the first day I'm wearing it, and if you know me, I do not like to come and do first impression reviews. I like to try out products for at least a few days before I review them. So that is why I'm not reviewing the foundation today. But the Cheek Gelée is a hydrating liquid gel to cream blush that combines the freshness of an emulsion with the lasting power of a stain. Sheer yet vibrant pigments add instant color and luminosity for a radiant, youthful glow. And again, there's no parabens, no cyclic silicones, microplastic-free, phthalate-free, gluten-free, and vegan. And then I also have a few shades of their Brilliant Gloss as well. And Chantecaille was kind enough to send me the blushes and the lip gloss. I did purchase the foundation, and I got the foundation off Holt Renfrew. I did not purchase it from Chantecaille's site. So let's just go ahead and swatch some of these, and I will share my favorite shade, but the Chantecaille Cheek Gelée, the first shade I have is the shade Thrill, which is a rich terracotta, which is a new shade. So I'm going to do a heavy swatch there. So if you can see, it gives a gorgeous color payoff. This is like a reddy, rusty shade, and it has a little bit of a sheen. This has a really nice, silky smooth formulation, and it does dry down, and it's a very thin formula. It does feel very similar to a lot of those liquid blushes that leave behind a stain. So you have ample time to play with this because it is hydrating, but it is very thin consistency, so it does dry down eventually, and it just leaves behind this gorgeous shade, this gorgeous stain behind. So it doesn't leave a lot of like thickness. Like a lot of cream blushes, sometimes I find they can be so emollient and thick on the skin. But this one actually dries down and looks very skin-like because it is so thin on the skin. So we have that shade Thrill, and then we also have the shade Delight. And Delight is an intense coral. So this one, again, has a little bit of a sheen running throughout it as well. And if you can see, when I squeeze them out, it almost is just like a thick, it looks like a thick consistency. If you can see, it's not very like a thin, liquidy consistency. So that is the shade there. And if you can see, this has quite a lot of sheen and reflection to it, this intense coral shade. So because it has a lot of sheen, it's just not going to be my absolute favorite. I prefer stuff that has no, like there are no detectable shimmer particles to this, but there is definitely a sheen running through it. But I just don't like something with that strong of a sheen. So this is not going to be something I reach for all the time. And then we have the shade Euphoric. And this is my favorite shade. So Euphoric is a vibrant peach pink. And this is a new shade as well. So this is the shade Euphoric, and it is absolutely stunning. This one I can't really detect a sheen, but you can see it almost gives the effect of the Merit Flush Bombs because it has that sheer pigmentation to it. Like they're not super opaque. They're not going to give a lot of opacity. So there is that one. I'm going to start off by applying Thrill to my cheeks just so you can see this on my complexion. But like I stated, my favorite shade is the Euphoric shade. So I'm just going to go in with this BK Beauty 106 brush, and I'm going to evenly distribute it onto the palm of my hand, and then I am going to apply it to the cheeks. And this is actually a very beautiful color. It's something that I don't really have in my collection, and I don't know if you can see, it doesn't give a lot of opaque color right off the bat. It gives this beautiful flush of color though. That is just really, really gorgeous on the skin. And I'll just go in with another layer so that you can see it. So you get ample time to apply these to the complexion, but they will dry down and they are going to last. So versus the Merit Flush Bombs, I really love those Merit Flush Bombs, but they're not the most long lasting because they don't ever dry down and really get like absorbed into the skin. They're not really a stain, where these are going to leave that stained effect behind. There is that shade, which is very pretty. So this is the Thrill shade. This is my second favorite. This is just gorgeous. I think it's so, so pretty on the skin. Just applying a little bit just to get rid of that blush because I want to show you that other shade. And I'm just going in with my YSL bronzer just on my cheeks, just to rebronze that area. I'm going to take this Prada highlighter in the pink shade, and I'm just going to apply a little bit of this to the tops of the cheekbones, just because this is what I had on before the video. So I just wanted to reapply those products so that we can get the same effect. And I just want to show you these. These have now dried down on the skin, and yeah, they just give a really beautiful effect. They really do remind me probably the most of the Merit, except that they give more of a stained effect. So I like that for longevity purposes. I like that I can wear these in the spring and summer months just as a cream blush in itself. I can wear them by itself, but these also work beautifully over top, like I use the Merit blushes as toppers. So you can apply them over powder products and they don't remove makeup underneath. They don't look heavy. They don't look cakey. They don't look makeup-y on the skin. They truly look very skin-like because they are so thin and sheer. So I really like that effect because, again, I can use them as toppers. So I'm going to take my favorite shade, which is the shade Euphoric, which is that, I think it's called an intense, a vibrant peach pink. So again, I'm going to take it just on the palm of my hand, and you can see it's kind of that thicker consistency. So I like to take that product, and then you can either just first pre-blend with your finger, or you can just go ahead and blend with a brush. So I'm going to take this BK Beauty N15 brush, and I'm going to pick that up on the palm of my hand. And again, I've already applied powder products. This does work over top of powders really beautifully. And then I'm just going to stamp that. So I'm patting this onto the cheeks. And you can just tell I get a really nice sheer flush of color. It's not over the top. It's not obnoxious. I'm going to go in with a little bit more because I do think it's very buildable on the skin. So we're going to go in for that second layer. So I probably just go in with one layer of product on an everyday basis, but I just want to show you how it looks if you do want more intensity. And honestly, you could just use this. So I like that I can use this in a variety of different ways. I can wear it as a cream blush and then apply a powder over top to kind of set it down if I really want that long-lasting blush look. But I can also use a powder blush underneath and then top it with this cream blush. And again, it doesn't look cakey. It doesn't look heavy on the skin. Or I can just use it by itself. And it performs beautifully each way you apply it onto the skin. Just look at that color. That is so beautiful. So I really, really enjoy this shade. And then finally, we have the Brilliant Glosses. So enriched with 2 new botanical actives, Brilliant Gloss helps keep lips hydrated and looking plumped while imparting lasting color and brilliant shine. Always shiny, never sticky. An innovative, microplastic-free and silicone-free formula gives unparalleled cushion to the lips. So very excited for this launch too, because if you don't know, one of my favorite luxury lip glosses are the Chantecaille Brilliant Glosses. In the past, they have been hard to get a hold of. They sell out very quickly, and they are very popular because a lot of celebrities use them, so certain colors will sell out. But this is a really, really, truly luxurious, beautiful formula. They remind me a lot of like the Tom Ford glosses, but they have better shelf life in my experience, and they just feel a little bit better on the lips. So I have 3 shades. I have the shade, let's try the shade Gleam first, which is a pearly gold sparkle. So this is the pearly gold sparkle. If you can see, it's almost just like a white, and it has little gold flecks. It almost looks like it has a little bit of like blue to it as well. They changed the applicator, so it has this little applicator tip here, where before it was like this, it was like a brush. How do I describe it? It was just like a brush basically, where this is this applicator, where before it was more of a brush. But anyways, I don't think this will give me, this will probably give me hydration. It's a very, very thin formula, like so thin that's why it feels so luxurious. So you're not really going to see an effect because again, this doesn't offer any color payoff. It's just offering a little bit of a sheen. I can't feel the shimmer. So sometimes when you get a shimmer lip gloss, you feel a little bit of grittiness because of that shimmer running throughout. I can't feel a shimmer. So that's really nice. It obviously is a super, super fine sheen. So there's that one. This is not going to, if you didn't notice, it was in the box. So I hadn't actually tried out this shade before, but I have tried out the other one. So the next shade we have is the shade Glimmer, which is a soft rose sparkle. So there is that shade. Again, I'm not going to swatch these because you're not really going to be able to see them. But this is just basically a very, very light pink with some shimmer particles throughout it. The shimmer particles look very similar in both of these, but this is just more of a cool tone pink. So I'm going to remove that previous gloss. And again, you're not going to see a lot of color payoff because this is very, very sheer. This does have a little bit of like a lavender reflection, which is very interesting. So I actually can detect the shimmer particles on this one a little bit more. If you're someone that doesn't like shimmer particles, you can see shimmer particles sitting on my lips. I think that's fun. And you can see it made my lips a little bit more cool toned, but it's not something I'm gonna wear on an everyday basis. And I don't know if you can tell, it did make my lips more cool toned, and there is like a little purple reflect, a little purple tint to this. I think it's pretty, but again, this is not something that is in my everyday makeup. This is not something that's going to be in my everyday routine. This might be more for like a costume party or for special occasions, but the next one is my favorite gloss. So I just wanted to pull out one of my old glosses, and this is the shade Blythe. So can you see it has this like brush applicator? That was the previous brush, but this formulation just was truly one of the best. So, I mean, the packaging isn't really different between the two. If you're someone that really liked the old packaging, it's very, very similar. So let's go in with the last shade here, which is the shade Love. And Love is a true pink. And there is the shade Love, if you can see it. And it is absolutely beautiful. It is a true pink, exactly what it claims to be. So I'm going to go in. And I don't have any lip liner on. I don't have any lipstick on underneath. This is just the gloss by itself. Oh, for some reason, this formula without the shimmer particles, to me, feels the best. Like maybe the shimmer particles make the consistency feel thinner for some reason. This feels a little bit more cushiony and more hydrating. Like I actually feel that hydrating effect. And I think this color is beautiful. It's a very soft true pink. Like this isn't a super opaque lip gloss. Gosh, where can I swatch this? Like you can tell it's a very, very sheer color payoff. You literally can't even see that on my skin. So it's literally just going to add a subtle coolness to my lips and slightly change the color of my lips, but very, very slightly because this is very, very sheer. It is not opaque at all, but it is so cushiony. It is so hydrating. It feels similar to like a lip mask. That's how comfortable these lip glosses are. I've always been a really big fan of this formula. I have gone through 3 of the Blythe, wherever that is, this lip gloss here. I'm almost out of this. I actually have a backup before I knew they were reformulating, and I really like this lip gloss formula. However, I like the shade Love the best out of the ones that I received. I will be picking up a backup of the shade Blythe, which was my previous favorite. I think it's really, really beautiful. Again, the ones with the shimmer, the glimmer shade, and the gleam shade, I think they're fun if you're someone that likes shimmer to your lip glosses. I think they would be really pretty if you topped off a lipstick with them, but I'm not going to repurchase these, and they're not going to be absolute favorites. I might see if my mom and my sister maybe would like one of these, because again, I'm probably just not going to use that. But this one is going to be something that I use every day. This is going into my everyday bag because I just love that effect. And I love that it's a very soft pink. And even though my cheeks are this vibrant peach pink, I still think the lips go really well because it didn't transform my lips into this like ultra cool tone pink. Just a really gorgeous, lovely everyday pink. And again, I'm really liking how this foundation looks on my complexion. It looks very, very beautiful, and I have no complaints. It hasn't separated. This is only 5 hours of me wearing it, but I still think it is holding up beautifully so far. Everything is performing beautifully together. But I just wanted to do a quick review of these cheek gelées and the lip glosses. So really recommend, if I had to choose a favorite, I don't know, because I actually really like the lip gloss, but in this shade Love. I like both, but I would say these cheek gelées, I don't notice a huge difference between the past formulation. Like I said, they perform pretty similarly. That's the kind of experience that I had prior with these cheek gelées. But I am very happy with the shade Euphoric especially. I actually really like the shade Thrill. I thought that was a really beautiful shade. So I'm probably going to get the most use out of Thrill and then Euphoric. Euphoric is definitely my top recommendation. So, so beautiful. I'm just going to do a quick comparison. So we have Euphoric. I keep on forgetting the name. Euphoric here. I want to do a swatch with Lusitano. So Lusitano is right here from Merit. Lusitano is actually more intensely pigmented. It is actually a little bit less sheer. I mean, I did go in with quite a pigmented swatch. It's a little bit less sheer. And I would say in terms of glossiness, they both look pretty similar in terms of glossiness. So, I mean, they are different enough that you could have both, but Lusitano is definitely more vibrant and it's more on the peachy side. It definitely has more like warmth and orange, where the Euphoric shade is that mix of a peach and a pink that has that really nice balance to it where you get that perfect peachy pink. And I just really like these. I think they're really gorgeous. If you're someone that really likes a sheen to your cheeks, I think you would really like the shade Delight. You know what? Let's just go in with a little bit of Delight. I'm going to pick up Delight on that same BK Beauty N15. This one does have a little bit of that sheen running throughout it, so you might want to not go in with a highlighter. I might have gone in with a little bit too much. But you know what? I'm not going anywhere the rest of the day. I'm just working from home. Yeah, that was definitely a lot of blush. Okay, I think that's pretty. It definitely has a more like glossy finish. I think if you do have texture in this area, it might emphasize texture. I don't really have that much texture in this area, so it's fine to apply there. I'm just not someone that likes a lot of sheen in this area. So Delight probably is not going to be something I'm going to reach for all the time, but Euphoric and Thrill are shades that I think are absolutely beautiful because they don't have that really strong shimmer to it where it's going to add a lot of reflection. Like if you can see, it's just a lot of reflection, which I don't love on an everyday basis. It's still pretty. I think the color is pretty, but it's just a little bit too much of sheen. But I know some of you guys really like the sheen in these. So that is just a really quick review of these Chantecaille, the Cheek Gelées, and the Brilliant Lip Glosses. These are formulations I have tried before. I honestly think they're very similar. I can't really tell the difference. So if you're someone that really liked the previous versions, I think you're going to really like this new formulation that's just a little bit cleaner. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Like this video if you like it, and I'll see you in my next video.